Hey, this is Sam from BNS Spot Movies. As I was getting ready to record this latest block of new episodes, I asked a lot of folks online, is there a movie you'd like me to cover? And Ben Raphael Scher, one of my really good friends and a pop culture expert, asked me to do a few movies, one of them being Flowers in the Attic. I didn't ask which one, but I assume he means both, so that's what he's getting. I am strangely obsessed about Flowers in the Attic, and I shouldn't say strangely. I think if you grew up in the 80s, it's really hard to describe how obsequious book was in the novels of V.C. Andrews. There was a newsstand in my hometown that my mom used to go to, and they would rip the covers off of books. It's out of business, so I can reveal their secrets now, because when you rip the covers off of paperbacks, you send those back and you get a credit back from the publisher. Most people are supposed to destroy those books. Unfortunately, this place is kind of shady, or fortunately for my family, they would sell these books for $0.25 and then 50 cents. We had tons of books. We had all the V.C. Andrews books. We didn't get the cool covers, though, that had the die-cut hole, like, for the attic. We just had the attic image, which was terrifying. The picture of the people, always horrifying. That's all we had. So we had a whole bathroom drawer just full of V.C. Andrews books. And as a kid, I'm like, may as well read these. They were like nothing I had ever read before. The 1979 novel of this film, the first film in the series is based upon, is but the first of 8 books in the Doppelganger series. There are a ton of V.C. Andrews books. That's a story in and out of itself. So Clea Virginia Andrews was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. As a teenager, unfortunately, she fell down a school stairwell, which resulted in injuries that would eventually give her crippling arthritis, leaving her in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. That said, it didn't seem to slow her down, as she was a successful commercial artist, and she supported her family after the death of her father. Now, she didn't become a writer until much later in life, completing the original draft of Flowers in the Attic when she was 52 years old. An editor suggested that she spice things up, so she made the revisions in one night, and it worked. Within 2 weeks of release, it topped the bestsellers charts. Her books aren't without controversy because they don't shy away from some of the darkest behavior in humanity. Flowers, in particular, has been removed from many high school libraries due to its depiction of incest. We'll get into that in a bit. There's also the belief that this novel is based on a true story. Virginia herself admitted that a few incidents are autobiographical, and she has also stated that her stories have been influenced by experiences of friends and family, her own dreams and memories, and even popular and literary fiction. This quote comes from an incredibly in-depth investigation of the book that was published on the Complete V.C. Andrews site. I'll share that in the show notes. Even in her pitch letters, Andrews described that this was a fictionalized version of a true story and not truly fiction. A relative believed that Andrews had a crush on a doctor who treated her for spinal injuries, and at one point confessed to her that he and his siblings had been locked away in an attic for over 6 years to preserve their family's wealth. He supposedly told this story to her while she was going in for a surgery, while she was under anesthetic. According to the article Her Dark Materials on Slate, Andrews sold Flowers in the Attic to pocketbooks for just $7,500. Yet when she died in 1986, the author, whose condition meant that she rarely did book tours or TV interviews, was the kind of celebrity who could live on well after her death. And you might be tempted to look up how many books she's written. There are more than 40 books with her name on them, but she only wrote 39 of them. After her death from breast cancer in 1986, writer Andrew Neiderman was hired by her family to become her voice, making the world's most famous ghostwriter. Since then, the franchise has grown from 30 million books sold worldwide to over 100 million books published in 95 countries. Translated into 24 languages, her name has so much value that it's a taxable asset, and the estate was sued by the IRS for $1.2 million. Now, does Andrew Neiderman's name feel familiar? Yes, of course. He wrote The Devil's Advocate, as well as another movie on the show Pin, which must have been his audition for being able to write stories about incest and the supernatural. Oh my gosh, yeah, if you haven't seen Pin, go do it now. It's not available on DVD. It's hard to find online, but you can find it. I know you can do it. By 1987, of course, it was time for a movie version of Flowers in the Attic. This book was huge. Why not a book? Andrews died before it was released, but was able to meet the actors and see much of her story come to life. You can see her as a brief cameo as a maid in Foxworth Hall. She's cleaning the windows after Chris and Kathy attempt to escape. Originally, Wes Craven was going to direct and write this. He even completed a screenplay that disturbed producers with its levels of violence and incest. Had they read the book, I don't know. They stole many of his ideas for the revised ending of the film. Craven was replaced by Blood Beach and Nightmares director Jeffrey Bloom. That script change would be the first of many clashes between the creatives and producers, ending with, well, an ending no one's happy with. Again, more on this later. Let's get into the story. After the death of their father, there are 4 kids trying to survive. They are teenagers: Chris, and Kathy. That is Jeb Adams, son of Nick Adams, and Christy Swanson from The Phantom, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And their twin siblings, Corey and Carrie. Lindsay Parker, daughter of UFO drummer Andy Parker. And we have Ben Ryan Ganger, and he was in Ed Wood and Fantastic Max. He's Corey, the other twin brother. He played Angry Kid in Ed Wood and Little Boy, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and Young Benny in Babyface Nelson. A lot of his roles are literally Little Boy. In Raging Angels, he played Little Boy. He was a caveling on Dinosaurs. Boy number 2 on an episode of Murder, She Wrote. He has one stunt role, though. So, I mean, there's that. Anyways, this whole family travels with their mother, Corinne, to meet their grandparents for the first time. And her mom is played by Victoria Tennant, former wife of Steve Martin, one of the stars of Inseminoid, and Aunt Lydia in the original Handmaid's Tale. The funny thing is, grandparents never knew that these kids existed. Corinne's mother, Olivia, is bonkers, obsessed with religion and demanding that children be kept in a locked room, hence flowers in the attic, so that no one knows they exist, and so that their grandfather never knows that they're there. They're played by Louise Fletcher, of course, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Exorcist II, The Heretic, and Nathan Davis, Father Henry Kane from Poltergeist 3. Olivia also drops a bomb on the kids. Their mother is disowned because their father was really her uncle, and her father's half-brother. They are the children of sin and incest, with Corinne now having to pay the price by submitting to bullet sessions from her mother. She has one goal: to become part of her family again and get back in her father's good graces before he dies and leaves his fortune to her. Then she will take her children out of the attic and escape to a better life. The kids just got to make do, right? Before you know it, Corinne has disappeared from her kids' lives. Olivia's taken over, obsessed with the belief that Chris and Kathy will become lovers. She even stars him to the point that Chris has to feed one of the twins his own blood so that they can survive. I don't think things work that way, but we're living in the world of VC Andrews now, so a lot of times you just got to accept these kind of things, right? When the kids are near death, their mother has been hooking up with Bart Winslow, Leonard Mann, from several Italian westerns, as well as The Humanoid, Cut and Run, and Night School. Soon after, one of the twins, Corey, is dead, killed by arsenic on a cookie that also kills his pet mouse, Mickey. If you begin to think this movie's too dark, you're not made of the sterner stuff that it takes to be part of the VC Andrews universe. This is but the first of many insane things. Do not eat any pastries that come to you that are magically left for you in the attic where your parents have locked you up. Do not, because you will die. Oh, the twists and turns. The kids hope to escape the home on the very day that they learn their mother is burying Bart Winslow. I like to say his full name, Bart Winslow. This is when they discover one more revelation. Their grandfather has been dead for months, and their mother is rich, but she will lose her inheritance if it's revealed she had a first marriage or any kids from it because it was from incest. And that's when they put it all together. It wasn't their grandma trying to poison them. Spoiler warning, if you've never watched this, or you're going to get really excited when I reveal this because you love this story as much as me. It's their mom. Their mom is the evil one, picking up the evil of their grandmother.
Yes, Mother? Do we look like you with your rosy cheeks and your bright eyes? Look at the twins, Mother. Corey has stomach cramps almost every day, and Carrie has little sores growing on her skin. Do you know or even care that the grandmother stopped feeding us for over a week?
Stop it! You have no right to talk to me like that! Tell me I've had pleasure while my children have been in pain. You are heartless. When you are ready to treat me with love, I'll be back.
She's been poisoning the cookies. She's been trying to kill them so that she will get the full inheritance and not them. Oh my gosh. Brothers bathe, sisters, mums get whipped, rats are pets. I couldn't be happier by this movie. It's the kind of movie you're amazed never got made. It's a movie that's also nearly impossible to get right. Is how can you make everyone happy? Those that have never read the books are going to be shocked by the incest. Fans of the book are like, where's the incest? And there's no way to make one group happier without the other, but luckily the Lifetime remakes just went all in. We're less worried. They're made 30 years later. More on that, of course, in a bit. The ending of this movie is different from the book. It was filmed at Castle Hill in Ipswich, Massachusetts, with reshoots done at the Greystoke Mansion in Beverly Hills. They're the same two locations where the Witches of Eastwick were made. Did the Witches of Eastwick people say, we want that house? What house should we, let's get that house from Flowers in the Attic. That's the right house. Greystone's also where The Big Lebowski, Death Becomes Her, Phantom of the Paradise. A lot of movies made there. After finishing the film, the producers approached the director to refilm a new ending. He already had issues, and the two studios making the movie had made numerous tweaks to his script, tearing out many of the plot points and themes of the novel, including the incest, which was supposedly filmed and played in a test screening. I think that's an urban legend, IMDb's. Big new idea was that the siblings accidentally kill their mother, an idea taken directly from the Craven script that they hated. But Jeffrey Bloom couldn't change their mind, so he quit. Another director finished the film. Here's where we get into that IMDb BS. In 2010, Bloom said that there was a disastrous initial screening. Nudity and all scenes of incest were cut. The other reasons given for the changes were the studio wanted a PG-13, non-R. Christy Swanson has also said in a 2014 interview that these scenes were cut. The biggest cut was that Butler John Hall, who has a much larger role in the Andrews book, was completely taken out of the film, despite many scenes being filmed. Alex Cobb, who played the role, said they had 3 different endings for that movie. They picked the worst one, the one that you see now. To top it all off, Victoria Tennant got so upset about the ending where she was hung that she walked off the set. That original ending finally shows up in the Arrow video release when it came out in the UK in 2018, and it's on the Arrow video release you can buy in the US now. There's also, you can find Craven's script online. A cardboard poster in the original DVD of the film has Hilary Henkin and Wes Craven credited for the script and says that the movie was directed by Craven, even though it wasn't. There is also a 1994 Virginia C. Andrews trivia and quiz book that has a page from that script. Well, we've gotten through the original film, but what about the Lifetime remake?
Some people have ordinary childhoods, but ours was truly unforgettable. We were tucked in every night, behind closed doors that were always locked.
Your dad's gonna be home in less than 2 hours. He's gonna be so surprised.
I'm sorry, but there's been an accident.
She's got a smile that it seems to me.
We can go live with your grandmother.
You and Dad said we never had any family.
My family is unbelievably wealthy.
We don't like it here.
Don't make your grandmother angry, okay? Some mothers are impossible to love.
Oh, sweet child of mine.
Do it! No! I make the rules in this house! And I execute the punishment.
Now and then, when I see your face,
You think I'm pretty?
To that special place, but if I stare too long, probably.
Can you ever forgive us?
Oh, sweet child of mine. Sweet child of mine.
Well, in 2014, has any author been more made for Lifetime than V.C. Andrews? It's no surprise when the network announced that 4 movies based on the Dollinger saga would begin airing in 2014. They'd follow the book really closely, and guess what? They kept making these movies after. They're still making them. When the box sets come out at Walmart, originally I didn't buy the box sets. I bought them individually. I should have thought, they'll put a multi-pack out of this. Look, I know no one but me is begging for a 4K of the Lifetime, Flowers in the Attic, Dollinger, Heaven, all the V.C. Andrews series, but I am, right? I'll watch them again and again. I put them on during the day when I'm working. Anyways, it's the same basic story. We got Chris, he's played by Mason Dye from Teen Wolf. Kathy, who's Kiernan Shipka from Mad Men and The Thrilling Adventures of Sabrina. And twins Carrie and Corey must endure so much after their mother abandons them inside the attic room with their brutal grandmother Olivia. Except this time, we have Heather Graham, Roller Girl, playing their mother, and Olivia is played by Ellen Bernstein, who's pretty great in this. But while the original film only hinted at the incest with Chris and Kathy, this one uses it as the bait to make you keep watching it. It's 2019. For God's sake, right? I got to reveal some stuff about myself, but as Grindhouse Releasing said, I'm an affable pervert. If you look at XNN.com, Pornhub, any of these different porn sites.
We don't even look at porn on our computer anymore. We look at it on our phone? Pornhub, Xtube. I know these names better than I know my own grandmother's. YouPorn, XXN, RedTube, Panty Jobs, Homegrown, Simpson stuff. All great, but I ask you this. If I was a big old guy with a big burly white beard, would you still be yelling at me? Or would you be spanking my bare butt, balls and back?
Right? It's all incest based. I don't know when this happened. Like, there was the movie, Taboo. That was like a big deal, and it was like shocking, even to people, even to raincoaters. They would go out in the 70s and 80s to watch adult. They're like, it's incest. It's weird. It's taboo. Literally, like the title, Taboo. And now it's everything. Like, there's just a whole, they say, oh, stepsister in quotes. And it's like, it's uncomfortable to me, right? Because I only have a brother and I have no interest in incest with him. I'm going to edit that out, or not. But just want to set it. I want to make it clear. But I don't know where these people are that have these like incest fantasies. It's very strange. Anyways. V.C. Andrews was onto something, because this book is all about that taboo, like the one Raven was in the movie about. Anyways, instead of trying to tie the ending off with a neat or poor realized ending, this time the story naturally leads into Petals in the Wind, which aired 4 months later. Does this movie have pastries kill mice and children? Yes. Donuts this time. Not as classy. It's a basic cable movie. What do you want? But you know what? I'm feeling like I'm not ready to leave the world of the, I'm not feeling like leaving the Dullinger family behind. So let's get into the next one. Petals in the Wind.
You can never escape this family.
Hi, Mama. You must be mistaking me with someone else. I don't have a daughter. But you'll be a big star. It's a new start for both of us. So much better than I was before.
All I've ever wanted is you.
You'll always be what you are. The devil's spawn.
Now, she's gonna pay.
Do it!
God already punished us once.
Wait.
No!
Goodbye, Mother. I don't.
10 years after escaping, the surviving children, Kathy, Chris, and Carrie, have tried to move on with their lives, and now Kathy decides enough is enough. She's going to get revenge on her mother, vengeance only hinted upon in the first film. After the death of the man who took them in, our three heroes have moved on with their lives. Meanwhile, their grandmother Olivia is now an invalid after a stroke, while their mother Corinne is taking over Foxworth Hall, the place they were stuck for years. Kathy, now played by Rose McIver from The Lovely Bones, has become a ballet dancer, while brother Chris, Wyatt Nash, whose career started on the show Survivor, learns to be a doctor. Her sister Carrie, Bailey DeYoung, is bullied in high school. On the eve of Carrie leaving town to try her luck on Broadway with new boyfriend Julian, she gives in to her passion for her brother. Again, that's when it's revealed that they almost had a child that she miscarried. She leaves in the hopes of a new life while her brother remains behind, unable to love anyone but his sister, and that's bad news for the daughter of his boss at the hospital, Sarah Reeves, who falls in love with him. Meanwhile, Julian is the rogue that you probably figured or hoped he would be. He abuses her and even drops her at their tryout, breaking her leg, ruining her dreams of being on the Great White Way. That said, he does sabotage the girl who wins the lead by putting glass in her shoes and getting Kathy into a restaging of Romeo and Juliet. It's like a Giallo villain. However, he starts getting touchy with her sister, and an argument starts. It causes him to drive so badly that he wrecks and dies. Kathy's pregnant in 9 months, right? Because she's not sure if it's her brother or Julian's baby. Within the span of, not even 9 months, within the span of like, say 3 months, 4 months, she's had sex with her brother, left everything behind to go to Broadway, broken her leg on a tryout, had another girl's foot get cut. Her leg had time to heal. And she got pregnant. The time is different in the V.C. Andrews universe. Anyways, Carrie's a mess. She falls in love with a minister named Alex, but when she finally meets her mother and invites her to the wedding, her refusal leads to her suicide. Kathy finally says enough is enough. She's going to seduce Bart Winslow and then ruin everyone's life. She also shows up to kiss her brother the day before his wedding. While his wife walks in, his new wife, you know, the Sarah Reeves just walks in, cancels the wedding, and gets him fired from the hospital because he's having sex with his sister. Oh my God. And when she's pregnant with his baby, or she had his baby, and we don't even know whose baby it is. Anyways, Chris decides that Kathy and her some jury should come to California where they'll start a new life where no one knows them because there's no internet yet. But hey, why not go to a Christmas party first and reveal to your evil mother that her husband's baby is growing inside you? Bart Winslow's baby is inside her. The incest never stops. The ending of this, how do I even get into it? Corinne and Olivia get into a shouting match, but it ends with the old woman revealing that she still has the skeleton of her grandson, Corey. Creepy. Everyone but Corinne, Chris, and Kathy die in an inferno, leaving for California while their mother is institutionalized. This has everything you want. That is, if you want everyone acting crazy and shouting recriminations at one another. It feels like a family reunion that I've been to. Anyways, there's let's go on, right? Lifetime did it. The next year, If There Be Thorns.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
You left us in an attic for 3 years.
It's not like our family's plagued with dark secrets.
From the network that brought you Flowers in the Attic, If There Be Thorns. Premieres Sunday, April 5th at 8 on Lifetime.
So let's get into it. Let's put yourself into the role of one of these characters. Let's say you slept with your brother. You watched your husband die. You set your childhood prison on fire. You sent your mother to the loony bin by sleeping with Bart Winslow, and your grandmother went to hell. What do you do next? Well, it's the 1970s. Sure looks like it. Cinematographer James Liston used vintage anamorphic lenses to create more depth and atmosphere, so this looks like new Hollywood. It's a Lifetime movie, dude. You did it. Like, you got a Lifetime. And he's like, no, we're going to make this art. Love you for it. Love it, James. 6 years later, Kathy and Chris are in California with her sons Jory and Bart, named for Bart Winslow, who feels constantly in the shadow of his older brother. One day, a woman in black, strange perfume of the woman in black, right? One day, a woman in black moves next door and invites the boys over for tea. She's rich, but her only family is her butler, John Amos. She asks, could she have a photo of the boys? Jory decides to never come back. It's a little creepy, but Bart's like, this place is awesome. He gets gifts, like a pet snake, and a journal that belonged to his great-grandfather, Malcolm. Their relationship must make a secret, because guess what? That's Heather Graham. That's really Corinne, the only actor who returned from the previous movies. Supposedly Goldie Hawn was going to be in this. Oh my God, if Goldie Hawn had played the evil grandmother, probably would have lost my mind. Malcolm's journal is bonkers, filled with hateful rants about women being whores. Bart loves it. Bart doesn't realize that maybe his dad is his own grandpa.
I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa.
But anyway, I mean, just how's Jory feel? Was his dad's either his mom's brother or the maniacal ballet dancer who put glass in people's shoes? Kathy is convinced her kids are going to get taken away from her, so she starts to put beds up in the attic so she can do what her mom did, or her grandmother did, or both of them, you know? And Chris is like, we can't do that. But that's all forgotten, because soon a dancer in Kathy's ballet class dies from cancer. She has a little girl named Cindy. They adopt her. Bart disappears and is found in the woods with an infected cut. His grandmother drops a bomb on him that his mom and stepfather are siblings. He reacts like you expect, a complete maniac. John Amos, the butler, starts telling him how he has to escape the sins of his family. That means killing the family dog. I don't know why. Then Corinne reveals that Bart's real dad is her husband. And seriously, my head's spinning. I can only wonder, how's this kid keeping it together? And we're supposed to look at this kid as the villain. This kid's been through some stuff. He's not doing well at all. He's trying to drown his adopted sister, which lands him in the attic, which he starts talking a whole like his insane grandmother. And everybody finds out that his mom is living right next door. The hits keep coming. Cindy sees her mom while dancing and falls, losing the ability to do the karaoke ever again.
You seen the karaoke? It's not a foxtrot or a polka. It has a little bit of blue rhythm that's all.
Jory's grandma tries to expose the incest and steals her grandson. Then John Amos knocks out Corinne and Cindy, throws them in a barn, and tries to burn them alive to finally end the family cycle abomination. Luckily, that makes mom and daughter love each other again, doesn't save her from a burning building. But this is a happy ending in the world of V.C. Andrews, except, you know, Bart still has that journal, and he started dressing like his grandfather, like a sharecropper. It means we got one more movie to get through, and that is Seeds of Yesterday. Are you still here? Are you still listening? I love you if you are.
This house has no power over us, Kathy.
Still terrifies me. Time to get this party started.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
Why do all of our families dirty little secrets? You don't know a thing about me.
Seeds of Yesterday premieres Sunday, April 12th at 8.
Some things you just don't need to know.
Only on Lifetime.
After 3 B.C. Andrews movies and the original Flowers of the Attic, nothing should surprise you. Any happy ending that the Dongler family finds is always going to be ruined in the next movie. So let's fast forward 13 years later. Kathy and Chris have been invited to Foxworth Hall, the same place they spent their childhood in prison within. Bart now owns it and has fixed it up while walking away from his family. He's even changed his last name. He might love his mother, but he has a near unhinged hatred for his uncle and stepfather. Meanwhile, his brother Jory and his wife Melody are about to have twins. And what would make this even worse? That's right, Bart wants to get with his brother's wife, and don't worry, he still hates his adopted sister Cindy, the one he tried to drown. At Bart's birthday party, okay, well, nobody over 21. If you're a guy, you should never have a birthday party over 21. You get a birthday party when you're 50, but that's it. Like, guys don't get to throw their own birthday parties. Any guy that throws his own birthday party should be suspected of, like, being a lunatic, and they should know this about Bart. But Jory and Cindy perform a ballet that ends up with Jory paralyzed because, V.C. Andrews. Everyone thinks Bart is behind this, but he denies it. And Melody starts to lament that her husband will never dance vertically or horizontally again. Can you see where this is going? So much happens in this movie. Jory tries to drown himself in a pool. Bart keeps winning back Melody and then rejecting her. Bart catches his sister Cindy in bed with her new boyfriend and has a tantrum. This movie has more melodrama than the first 3 put together. Is that possible? Yes. Somehow it is. These kids are nuts. Even after Melody gives birth to twins, she's lost her will to live and abandons the family. Bart gets with Cindy and still rejects her. Maybe a new house will fix things, thinks Chris, so they hire a nanny named Tony that they hope Jory will get with. Nope. Bart seduces her too and dumps her. He then tops off all his behavior by trying to drown one of the twins during her baptism. It takes the accidental, out of nowhere death of Chris to put the family back together. Jory recovers, marries Tony, and they raise the twins and a child of their own together. Bart becomes a TV preacher and marries his adopted sister. Only Kathy remains behind, sitting in that attic window, eventually dying of a broken heart. It's the end of the line for the movies of the Dongler family. There's more. By the end, we'd seen everyone go through hell, such as dance accidents, ancestral unions, and getting hit by cars. If anything, this movie should teach you to never have sex within your own bloodline and to always put out road flares when you're changing a tire. Chris, what were you thinking? I've revealed a lot of the endings, but I can never sum up all the magic of V.C. Andrews stuff. There are so many books for you to get through, so many movies. Do it. You know what I mean? Life's short. As a kid in the 70s, just sitting at B. Dalton, flipping these covers back and forth and like, well, what's going on inside this attic? I was entranced. Still am, 53. Almost. Still entranced. Still living in that attic with these kids. I don't like donuts. Powdered donuts especially, because of these movies and books. Anyways, would you like me to talk about a movie? Ben asked for this and he probably got more than he wanted. Please reach out to me at bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com. You can come to the site, read about a lot of movies, too many movies, some would argue, bnsaboutmovies.com. And, yeah, there's a lot to think about, isn't it?